What's up YouTube? It's me, DJ here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video on the channel, and yes, welcome back to another Minecraft Java video specifically on the channel. And today we're doing something that, we've done time and time again on the channel. It's just I haven't done it strictly, I think, this format, kinda before, and I'm showcasing another build I've done. We've done that a lot in the Wii U videos, a lot, mostly, and then we obviously had the big stream at the end of last year reviewing the giant FNAF World Remaster. So I've obviously reviewed stuff I've built and showed you guys stuff I've built and whatnot and all that fun stuff. So we're doing that today, and you've seen the title and thumbnail, so you kind of already know what you're getting into. But let me just show you what we're about to do. So first, I'm going to go to a copy of my building world that I have, because I recently uploaded a copy of my building world to my Torno server because I was working on something with a friend or two a couple weeks ago for another upcoming build that probably won't be showed off till maybe at this point, maybe early next year, because I still have a long way to go in that build. Anyways, that's not what we're here for. First and foremost, I brought back the night guard skin. You might remember this from a couple streams, so we're back. Yeah, so we're back, and also, I guess I'll show this off briefly. It's not part of the main video, but there's a park here now, and also, again, I have a version. I uploaded. This is a copy of world thing on my server right now, because I have a friend building a house and a couple other things for me, or for stuff, I should say. But yeah, here's a little park that also has a copy of the map. But that's not what we're here for. So you guys may remember pretty much everything that direction from the Ultra review showcase of the FNAF World Remaster, but we're gonna come this way. We're gonna come further down this side of the world that actually doesn't have a lot on it yet, but it has what we're showcasing today, and that would be, surprise, surprise, everybody, I built the FNAF 2 location in Minecraft. And you may be thinking, did you build the FNAF 2 location in Minecraft because the FNAF 2 movie's coming out? Not quite, but I guess you can just say, because I mentioned that, I guess you can say this is in honor, getting ready for the movie to release by December. But no, I didn't build the FNAF 2 location strictly because the FNAF 2 movie's coming out. This has a reason that I built it, and I'll talk about it at the end of the video. But let's give you guys a tour. So here's the outside. Here's the parking lot. Here's the Freddy Fazbear sign with the toy Freddy head and the blue wall with the green and black checker pattern. And yeah. So let's go inside. We got a little mailbox. There's a pathway to walk up to the door. If I get stuck on the get off. First and foremost, welcome to the lobby. This is the lobby where people check in to go eat at the pizzeria. You got your cash register here. Waiting area. Posters, a camera for security reasons, and whatnot. So yeah, lobby, nothing too crazy. A lot simpler than the one in the FNAF World build, but And then welcome to the main area, which, yes, this is obviously FNAF 2, so we have the show stage with the toy animatronics, which I did copy the armor stands that I had at the FNAF World Remaster build, so they're here for right now. But yeah, here's one of the cameras. We got all these tables to sit at with a bunch of player heads that are the plushies, so we got some of the toys, classic animatronics, drawings, more posters, and whatnot. We have the prize counter right here. With all the plushies and whatnot, the music box, creeper painting for funny effect, puppet, Wither Golden Freddy plush. Then we have Balloon Boy's area, which obviously has the carousel normally in the game, and I added some arcade cabinets over here. So we have, there's, a bunch of little arcades, more tables to sit at and draw. Balloon Boy's here for entertainment. The quote-unquote working carousel, which is just a little build thing for FNAF 2 consistency's sake. And again, there's a camera there, and then there's a camera here for the prize corner, And then we have the kitchen right here, which is a cut. I obviously added the kitchen because there obviously is no visible kitchen in FNAF 2, but I figured where I was putting the lobby right here, I would add an extra room right here alongside it. That would just be the kitchen. So here's the kitchen. Nothing too crazy. You got your shulkers for cabinets, and you got all the other cutting boards and brewing stands for to make drinks, sinks, crafting table, fridges, pizza oven, a brick pizza oven. So yeah, bigger fridge, more boxes, a walk-in freezer, mind you, with you know, lights, ice, you know, all the stuff, pizza toppings, which are just all the like meat toppings for pizza, being refrigerated in the big freezer, and then obviously you get some other smaller stuff in the regular freezer. So yeah, there's that, and obviously a kitchen camera that just watches everything. As I get stuck on the door, getting stuck on the. Will both doors open, please? Thank you. Over here we have Kids Cove, which, you know, it's got just, you know, more tables, mangles over there in the corner, drawings. And I added a fun little ball pit with an extra camera that has JJ of all characters over here. So there's a ball pit in Kids Cove, so it's like a little kids attraction, the ball pit. You play with JJ in it or something. I would say hide and seek, but you can, I don't know. Simon Says in the ball pit, anyone, I guess? You know, so that's Kids Cove. I think it's, yeah, it says Kids Cove right there. I got a couple cameras. So that's the main FNAF 2 party hall, and then we have the bathrooms, which, you know, just, they're simple bathrooms. You have the male's room with the urinals, little stalls, and the way I worked around having mirrors and sinks and whatnot is this funky T design, but I think it's a little funky and funny, just because I think it gives off an interesting charm. And the female bathroom looks pretty much the same. All things considered, just more stalls than obviously the urinals, quote unquote. We have the camera over here, which just watches the entire hallway. Kind of accurate to FNAF 2, where you can see Torchica, Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Mangle, all that. Speaking of the Withereds, we have parts of service, where you have Withered Freddy would be lying on the floor here, where he's obviously standing up, he's an armor stand, Withered Chica, Withered Bonnie. I put Shadow Freddy here, because Shadow Freddy can spawn in Withered Bonnie's spot. There's a couple levers here, which we'll talk about, but there's just some more boxes. Withered Foxy's right here. You have an Endo 02, Shadow Bonnie, Withered Golden Freddy. You know, there's a spare Endo head in there, and some other parts in the locker, and all that fun stuff. So there's that. And then we have the party rooms. We have party room 4 with the paper pals over here and all these different balloons and stuff. So there's that. And the camera staring at the paper pals. We have party room 3, which, you know, just another camera. You have all the different, you know, balloons, drawings, posters. Kind of all the party rooms look pretty much the same. The key difference is each room has a color of the toy animatronic. So this one's the Mangle room. This one's the Toy Freddy room. This one over here is the Toy Bonnie room with the little wet floor puddle that you can see on the camera, usually in game, with the caution sign. Camera, you know, whatever. You have the vent over here, which we'll get to. And then obviously we had the final party room 1, which has Torchica colors. And again, more balloons, more cameras, and another vent. So here's the vent. Pretty simple walk-in area. There's like a random light that I put in here just to get so it wasn't fully dark. Same thing with this vent. We'll come back to this room in a second. But, you know, just same thing. But obviously, coming back here, we have the security office, which again is fitting than where I put on the security skin for this video. We have obviously the hallway flash, where you would flash Foxy. You have the vent lights over here and over here. You have the drawings, a bunch of monitors, you know, soda cup, fan, keyboard for cameras, again, light for the hallway. The drawings and item frames just to replicate the drawings on the wall. This is supposed to replicate the big Toy Freddy, the big Celebrate poster where you can click Toy Freddy's nose. So there's that. And obviously, you can actually reach all of these things just by sitting here. So you could theoretically, if you had friends to play with, you could theoretically do a night and do it, because your Freddy mask is here. There's a spare JJ head, because I was originally going to put the Easter egg on the desk, but it didn't quite work. Spare uniform, the armor set, and then torches. Which the torches might come in handy when the building looks like this at night. Let me show you the night layout, because there are 2 levers here. So the lever that was on was the daytime generator. It's funny that we're getting cave noises as I switch it to night. The night generator only has on the security office power, because this is where you'll be. This is where you'll need most of the power most of the night. So yeah, and like I said, you can flash the hallway. There does seem to be some visible note, like if a character is standing right here, there is some visible notice of it being flickered and flashed. So there's that. And again, here's what the rest of the building looks like in the dark. You know, pretty pretty dark. You know, the cameras are usually dark anyways, and you need that like camera flashlight to check on all the rooms to stun some of the animatronics. Again, Puppets box. So yeah, that's what the entire FNAF 2 build in its entirety. You know, your main room with your prize corner, which also, just like the party rooms where they have a colored floor for each character, surprise, surprise, the prize corner has the color green for Charlotte, possessing the puppet. I thought that would be a fun detail, and I'll explain why that's also a detail I chose to put there in a minute. But let me just turn off the, actually, let me quickly, game mode spectator. Let me show you what the redstone looks like real quick. So here's the redstone. There's this extra trail for just the nighttime generator that goes over to the office. But if I would turn on the other lever, the rest of the building gets powered up through all of this. So there is that. Yeah, I can show it off if I go back to creative mode for a second. Turn the lever off. Let me switch it back to the main lights. And I'll quickly show you guys again. And I also put glowstone up here so bats don't spawn. Just kind of a common courtesy I do with builds nowadays. But yeah, see, then this other trail is turned off because this is only for the night lever. So yeah, that's how the redstone works for the building. Giving it its quite bright personality during the day and creepy atmosphere during the night. So yeah, so that's the FNAF 2 build. Again, you have all the details like the part service sign above the door. Again, all the signs for the rooms, bathrooms. Paintings to make the place feel lively. You know, all the animatronic armor stands to stand there for right now. Unless, like I said, when you have people playing with you wearing FNAF skins, they can be standing there instead. But, you know, that's the FNAF 2 build. So I guess we can go outside for a minute because I will show you. I didn't fully do like a whole dumpster thing like FNAF World, but I wanted just to mainly build the main location because I'll explain the origins in a second for why I built it. But here's just the entire building wrapped around, and yes, the entire truck pattern does go around the entire building, including the little redstone area right here, just so it is consistent. But yeah, here let me go in F5 for a minute. So let me explain why I built the FNAF 2 location. So, again, you can say it is a small nod that the FNAF 2 movie's coming out this year, but there's a bigger reason. And I guess this comes into a form of a small update, and maybe I don't know if I'll fully include it in the playlist, but maybe I'll make a bigger separate update. But I built the FNAF 2 location because I'm going to be using it for lore storytelling in the Minecraft FNAF World Portal Pals roleplay that I've been working on. I know it's been very quiet this year, besides a couple videos that came out back in March, but I've been working on planning a lot, and that goes to show with this build. Like, I built an entire pizzeria just for an upcoming video or two, maybe even 3 or 4 down the road. So I built the FNAF 2 location purely because it's going to be lore relevant with Portal Pals, and that comes down to a minor detail that I was already mentioning. The prize corner having Charlie's color scheme is important because in the video there might be some Charlie Emily lore coming out in Portal Pals, so there's a big reason that I built the entire FNAF 2 location. So you'll see that in video form in due time, because I have to try and get a good group of friends together, or just people who are willing to help me record a big video, because I need about maybe at most 7 to 10 Minecraft players, including myself, on my server to record this big FNAF 2 video. At least one of them. Smaller videos I'll need like my regular cast of RP people. But so that's a fun thing just to mention briefly, and I'll do a bigger announcement about that later. But yeah, so in summary, this is the FNAF 2 location. Here, I guess I can do a quick walkthrough and just first with F1 press so you guys can just see purely the build. So here is, you know, the location in all its glory one more time, purely without my hand in the view. So we'll just do this, and I'll wrap the video up for today. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour of the FNAF 2 pizzeria. I will admit, I'm probably going to have a very simple thumbnail and just stand from the building like I would do with all the other tour videos I've done, like I said, I'm mainly thinking about the Wii U videos, but we've done a couple on Java at least, or, you know, I've toured a couple things at the very least, whether it was in a role play or something else, you know. So there's that for everyone to, you know, have a good look at. So party rooms, again, they all look kind of the same, but, you know, that's what they look like in the game anyways. Again, a lot of this was taken based off FNAF 2 with a few custom tweaks added to it. But, you know, it's been a fun little build. And like I said, I'm building something else, which I'm not gonna fully tease this video because I don't want to go over there. I'm gonna go over there after the video is done, so I can make sure it's saved on this copy. But I'm working on another big build similar to Project FNAF World that I might stream a tour of with some people if I can get it to, you know, work. But with that being said, I think I've looked through everything. I'll maybe walk in the Kids Cove one more time. I don't know if I did that with this perspective. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. So I don't want to take up too much more time, so I'm gonna go outside the pizzeria and just end the video. So that's been the tour of my FNAF 2 pizzeria in Minecraft Java on 1.13.2. So hope you guys enjoyed. And with that being said, you know, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified when I come back to do more, you know, videos like this on the channel, or just, you know, more Minecraft content, whether it's creative mode builds, you know, mini game mayhem, you know, survival shenanigans, role plays with friends, by myself, you know, you name it. You'll have to wait and see, but that's everything for right now. So until then, you know, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you guys on the flip side. It's now outro time. Well, not outro. It is outro time for the video, but not outro time in the sense of as if I was live. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you guys around. Hope you guys enjoyed this tour, and I'll see you soon for something else.